Sasha, we did it. Oh
Perfect.
my God, we did it.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. Guys, what is up? What's good? Just to get this stream up and running has been a Herculean effort. I just want to make sure that we get this out to everybody. So I'm going on to onto the X profile. Let me just grab it. It should be out there. It should show that the WagMe account is definitely live. We should be good to go. But Alex, what's up, man? How are you?
That is 25 minutes. I hope that people not really bored, but I mean, I just get some Monday chill. So no, all
Like
good,
it,
all good.
man.
How are you?
I figure, listen, I'll give you an extra 25 minutes before we like rake you over the coals, you know what I mean? And start asking you like the really freaking like tough questions. But
Perfect, perfect.
give us a brief intro for maybe some people that are familiar with you, maybe some that aren't. Give us like a little bit of like an intro, and then we'll jump right into some questions.
Absolutely. So basically, yeah, my name is Sasha, and I'm leading Open Builders, the team behind Notcoin, behind a bunch of projects like the stickers, Earn, and so on and so on. I would basically work mainly on Telegram and on ecosystem. And yeah, I think last year we started a stop to earn history with Notcoin. So now we're basically, exploring other ways to make mass adoption that would work sustainable with Telegram. People would have some real use cases that will be connected to Web3 world as well. So yeah, that's kind of scope of what we have now.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. So let's maybe kind of like let's jump directly into maybe like some of the questions, right? Like obviously, like I had everything queued up here, right? We have the Notcoin backlash, right? Like because a lot of people out here know you as like the founder of Notcoin, right? Like the tap to earn kind of maestro, right? Like it was like I'm just looking over some of the stats. It's something like how much? Can you give us some of the stats for specifically for like really what you did with Notcoin? It was 35 million users, trillions and trillions of taps. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the thing is that I think it's important to consider this relative thing. I mean,
Yeah.
at the moment when we started Notcoin, I think the most popular mass adoption Web3 app was like, let's say, Stepan or X Infinity, and they all catch some, like numbers like 700K users or 1 million users or 5 million users. And then when we've got these numbers in 1 week, and we just like, wow, it's actually something different because it's growing, yeah, like a crazy thing. And yeah, we started Top to Earn. Officially, we launched it on 1st of January, 2024, and then in 3 months, on 1st of April, we we killed Top to Earn ourselves because we just realized that. I mean, like, why to see this slowly dying and not to basically just stop printing points, all this stuff, and finally go to the Web3 stage. So that's what we made. And actually, in May 16th, it's in 4 days from now. We
Anniversary?
will have this anniversary. Yeah, this will
No
be
shit.
TGE. Yeah. So yeah.
Wow. Okay,
So
so what's the deal? That's it. Tap to earn officially dead. Done.
I
Are we
mean,
having a funeral for it? What's the deal?
I think that when I'm speaking about tap to earn, it's mostly about the question of distribution, right? So I mean, when you think of the other airdrops, sometimes projects consider some user background, like what they have on wallet or what they did with the protocol or something like that. And with TopTurn, our goal was actually to remove all the struggles, roadblocks for newcomers, so they can basically start playing first, and then when they earn something and they have enough motivation to withdraw it, they basically just introduce all of that free hell that they need to go through, all the gas fee and all this stuff. And for this particular purpose, I think it worked perfectly. We can see this on numbers on Ton. I mean, obviously, last year was just tremendous success for the whole ecosystem. And from, let's say, 10,000 active people per day, we've got to whatever, like several millions. And then other projects are actually just using this as an example, and
Yeah.
they also distributed lots of tokens. The problem with this is that when you expect people All right. So when like with Notcoin, it was a precedent. I mean, like all the focus and attention from everywhere was
Yeah.
pointed to the particular one Notcoin. And Notcoin was launched on Binance even earlier than Ton itself, earlier than Layer One. It's
We're
crazy.
gonna get there.
It's still
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, and you can imagine the amount of demand. Like let's call it like X amount of demand
Yeah.
with one Notcoin, and then people got some real money. I think we've distributed tokens like let's say 80-90% to 11-ish million people. So you can expect that on average, when we've got to let's say 2.5 billion
Yeah.
market cap, it means for
Ooh.
users it means like a lot. Yeah. So average, I think it was roughly 200 USD per user kind of thing. And so
Wow.
yeah, without any other, like it's different from what we've got on, let's say, Ethereum airdrops, something like that, because there usually you distribute amounts to those who already have money, right? So they maybe
Yeah.
pulled something into the protocol or made some trades or whatever. So this kind of crypto tech savvy guys and so on and so on. And with Notcoin, some big part of users, they came to crypto for the first time. And for them, it was like magic internet money, right? Like just from out of thin
Literally out
air.
of nowhere. Like literally
Yeah,
like out of
yeah,
nowhere.
exactly.
So
And
let me ask you this then, right? Because I feel like there's a big like misconception because a lot of people call you like a pioneer. Some other people might call you like an opportunist, right? So maybe what's the biggest maybe like misconception about you and maybe about Notcoin like right now, like in this very moment today?
yeah, I think that like when you give tokens and these tokens eventually have some value and
Mm-hmm.
people consider that, all right, so if you guys made me plus $200 on my balance sheet, then just can you just repeat it please again and again, can you just repeat it like 10 times or something? And the issue is that, yeah, I mean that I can understand that, that's fine. I mean
Yeah.
that's probably um simplest way to interpret the whole thing. So like I just stopped to earn, I earned something, that's it. But when I think about the whole math behind that, it's that, as I said, the demand for Notcoin was X amount of traders, invest like whoever else who came from
Yep.
exchange and so on. And then when more and more projects started, shipping their coins and distributing
Mm-hmm.
this to the millions, even bigger numbers actually that we did, and with the same or similar demand of people, can you imagine yourself on the trader side? Like they jumped into Notcoin. The good thing is that after TG, we even made
It
the good
was
right.
yeah, it was
But
straight up. Yeah, I saw. I
yeah,
was there. I
but then
witnessed all of it.
you have number of coins
Yeah.
that kind of offer you to jump in as well, and you maybe jump into another one or maybe third one or
Mhm.
something. But you
Yep.
cannot do this for 50 coins, and you cannot have the same exposure there, right? So the thing is that even with the same demand, but in my gut feeling, demand even decreased with time. Even with the same demand, when you just multiply supply 10 times, 20 times, 50 times,
Yeah.
it's just like the simple arithmetic just doesn't work. So I mean,
Do you not know the mindset of like the trenches, the degens in the trenches? We want everything. We want the cake. We want to eat it too. We want everything. That is how it
of
works. It's
course,
what we want.
of course.
It's what we
Maybe
want.
one of the meta goals that we have is basically just to help people to really understand how it works, because
Yeah.
it's basically gives you some straight, I mean, like you basically will be able to navigate this market and every other single financial market much better if you understand it, right? So I mean, if you understand the principles of supply demand, the
Yeah.
principles like how tokenomics works and so on. So
True.
basically, yeah, so that's like from that standpoint, up to earners, that obviously, as I said, like we just killed it ourselves. We first who started, we first who killed. Yeah. I mean, just to give you some picture on it, why I'm highlighting that is that on the 1st of April, we've got 6 million people um, tapping on the 1st of April. So
Yeah.
it means like literally when you see this audience in your application, 6 million people very actively engaging with your application, and
Yeah.
you decide yourself that
wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of,
That's a
it's
rush.
kind of
Yeah.
feeling.
That is crazy. So like, okay, so maybe help us maybe understand now. Like, so what now for Notcoin, right? Like we've heard you talk about like Steam 2.0, and what's the rebirth look like? Like, what does this whole plan look like? Like, lay it out for us so we get to maybe understand exactly what it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
So in a very short, what we wanted to do with Notcoin, we understood that, all right, so we have some people who are having some connection with Notcoin. And from that moment, we were like, all right, so let's basically try to create some parts of the ecosystem of Notcoin that will just, generate or attract value into the Notcoin. And we've tried to do several things. We've tried to do this with, let's say, advertisement approach, where we basically shown some projects to users, and projects paid their money, and we just exchanged to the Notcoin and distributed to users. With some part have been burned.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds quite fine from
Yeah.
from simple math standpoint, but on
Yeah.
the same side, it's not like, okay, so when your token goes to, let's say, 2.5 or 3 billion
Yeah.
market cap, so and then you just wants to create some vehicle that would have enough liquidity in that to affect this token price, I mean in general, to accelerate users in a way that they you know get some value from Notcoin and so on. And you have to have like hundreds of millions in this vehicle, in this advertisement vehicle, which basically X is not having, or Telegram barely having, right? So I mean, it's
Yeah.
quite a big number. So after that, I was like, all right, so it seems that we need to explore and try different approaches. And then we just launched a few things. First one is the stickers, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So stickers is the new narrative right now on Telegram. We will jump into this more, but that's
Yeah.
quite interesting, because why we like Notcoin and stickers? What the heck, right? But from the external observer, it's like lack of connection. But from those who are existing on Telegram ecosystem, um, we see that basically Telegram is different in a way that when they integrate Web3
Mm-hmm.
component, usually they're doing this together with, let's say, real life use case, or in case of
Oh,
Telegram,
like
real Telegram use case.
IRL. Okay.
Yeah, so it means that it's not property. You're not selling bricks to the people. You're not tokenizing bricks,
Yeah.
but in this case, it's more like people using Telegram, and they want to have some special, like right now, gifts, right? So when you have some special icon close to your name and profile, everyone can see this. It's kind of similar to PFP NFTs, but in case of Telegram, it's not a niche for crazy
Yeah.
rich crypto guys, but
It's
it's more
true.
for, yeah, it's more for like hundreds, like maybe millions of people. Um, and when you connect Web3 component to something that has real use case that is not entirely connected to Web3, it's much, much more sustainable. So it
Yeah.
means that, like, let's say when Uniswap or any other DEX actually, when they're having their token utility deeply connected to, let's say, volume on DEX, because
Mhm.
you have some fraction of fee that you just, you're making buybacks and burn or whatever, but still,
Yeah.
whenever Bitcoin price is, just going to drop a little bit,
Yeah.
volumes are dropping as well, and potential demand for the altcoins dropping as well. So you having both lack of demand, or maybe supply is also growing because
Yeah. Yeah.
people want to sell first, and your token goes down. And in case of Uniswap or other DEX, your volumes are also goes down. So it means that any Web3 utility for token, it's a death loop. I mean, so you
It's
basically,
not the flywheel that we've come to like to love and learn.
absolutely.
So let me ask you. I was gonna get there, but anything you want to tease while you're on here about like a Dex or like I mean,
No,
like
no,
you're
no. What I'm saying is that Telegram assets like stickers, gifts,
yeah.
anonymous numbers, usernames, and many, many other things. Like, for example, right now when I'm saying Steam 2.0, I'm thinking mostly about some gaming ecosystems that will allow you to have this economy layer, like Steam has it for
Yeah.
KS Counter-Strike skins, right, and for Dota skins and so on and so on. So market cap of Counter-Strike skins right now is 5 billion USD. And I have a nice chart. I'll send it. Like when S&P goes down, Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down, and Counter-Strike market cap goes.
Counter-Strike
Skins
goes up.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful because people
Yeah.
play Counter-Strike regardless Bitcoin price. That's what's important. People
True.
buy gifts on Telegram regardless it's bear market or bull market. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. They use it because there is a reason for that from their
Right.
experience, from use case, real use case. So when we learned that, we just focused on things that have this real use case, and stickers is one of these things. So basically, when you have your unique sticker, yeah, at the beginning, it might like the value might be connected to the IP that you launched. So for example, we launched Budget Penguins, we launched BYC, we launched like
Doodles, I saw you.
Doodles, yeah, like
Like I
number
saw
of guys.
but like some of these prices that I'm seeing aftermarket now, also I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. But okay, so maybe let's talk about the sticker stuff. Like, what's the deal with the marketplace? Like, I know like there was a lot of fanfare. I remember when you guys released it, but like, what's the deal now? Like, where are we at? Is there a marketplace coming out soon to be able to buy, sell, trade? And are these real sales for like $11,000 for a fucking penguin sticker? Come on.
No. I mean, like the thing is that we see this right now with gifts as well, and
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Basically, these two systems are going simultaneously right now because you see that Telegram is making their more and more steps into these kind of Telegram assets in a ecosystem, and they basically implement more and more features. Right now, you can send gifts to blockchain, you can trade it on NFT marketplace, or you can keep it in Telegram and do stuff there.
Yeah.
Same for stickers as well. So basically, we have our store called Sticker Pack. It's like for the initial sales,
Yep.
initial launch, and then eventually people can trade it. Right now, they can trade it on OTC and some markets, third-party markets. We have our own market. This is the meme actually already because the thing is that we decided to launch market that have been built from some community guys.
Okay.
Sometimes we're having this stuff. I really like to work with community guys, but sometimes, especially when you consider high, like high volumes or high interested from community, so your system, your tech should be reliable, really reliable, especially when it connects to money, right? So yeah, we just end up like seeing that it's not really works on a level that we want it to, and then we just decide, all right, let's build this from scratch. Right now we're building this from scratch. I think it will go live like very soon. I'm not attaching it to any other date, but just very soon.
That's
I already.
yeah. If there's one lesson I learned also, Sasha, at the end of the day is like, don't ever put a date on anything. So I guess like, what is maybe the biggest lesson that you learned like so far, like through this backlash? Like, I know you said like, yeah, it's good to work with community members, but at the end of the day, the tech's got to work. So what's maybe some of the biggest lessons that you maybe learned?
I mean, to be honest, regardless all the, let's say, tough lessons we've got,
Yeah.
I'm still quite optimistic and positive in working with community guys. I still like last week I spoke to someone from community offering like, do you want to do this or that? Like, let's join and let's do something together.
What's this or that? Tell me.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah. Okay, so the thing is that maybe this is my personal thing, but
yeah,
when I have some idea that I cannot kill in my mind myself, so let's say if I have some concept or something, it usually came from nowhere, really coming from nowhere, and I'm like, all right, so why it would not work? And if I can't find an answer on this question for a week or so, and then it's just bzzz, yeah. And because of that, we have a bunch of projects. I think that's one of the main reasons. But I mean, Notcoin was one of this. Actually, Notcoin was not that project that we prioritized at the beginning. You can imagine. So we just actually, it was just an idea that, all right, so seems like it might fix the issue of how basically onboard millions of Telegram users to an ecosystem or crypto in general. And it just
How much of
But
it, like how much of the Notcoin shit was like literally just learning on the fly? Like just kind of like when you said, "Oh, this wasn't an idea," like you didn't like plan this whole crazy thing out. How much of it was like this like we're kind of just figuring this shit out as we go along? Like a lot of this wasn't genuinely like we didn't plan for all of this, right? Because like
no, no,
how
no
do you
plans, no
plan for
plans
shit
for
like that?
all this.
Yeah,
It's always the thing that
yeah.
you try to pick ideas that you aim it high, of
Mhm.
course, because if you start doing something that in their best shape would be very average and mediocre, it doesn't make any sense to start.
Yeah,
So you always aim high, but not always you're successful, of course, with that.
true.
So with Notcoin, I was like, it's a good experiment, 10% it will work. Let's see. And then at some point we've seen on this on beta. I think I've shown yeah. We had a TON conference in November 2023, and I've shown some snack peek of
Yeah.
Notcoin and QR code for beta. And I thought that, all right, I mean, what can go wrong? I mean, we just show this like for these 500 people here and so on.
Overload. It was
So
crazy.
long story short, 3 days later, 70,000 people playing Notcoin. Our data servers are melting. I mean, it's just really in that moment I was like, all right, okay, gotcha. So this is the thing. Let's put on hold everything we're doing now,
Yeah.
except this, and focus all our
'Cause the market essentially validated what you were doing. You were like, let me put this QR code up. Let me see what's what. And then 70,000 people said, hey, we give a shit. Like, actually do this. So maybe to those people also, because you're going to have, because you can never please everybody, right? Like, so what do you maybe say to like some of the people that, I don't know, like maybe some of the ones that like feel really burned by some of these like rapid fire experiments, right? Where it's like, we kind of have to see what works. Like if they're being, at the end of the day, like maybe they're putting time, effort, money into this. Like, what do you tell people like that?
um, for builders like that. I mean, for those who are building stuff like that, and experimenting and so on and so on. I remember like 3 months before this November. What is that?
We're gonna have fun fire around in a second. Don't worry, I jumped the
All
gun.
right.
Go.
So 3 months before November, I had some idea, and I thought that it's a like it really should cannot fail. This idea was about some let's say smart model for token distribution kind of thing,
Yeah,
and I was like, it should be successful. It should work. I mean, like I was so pumped and excited, and I was so like um, energized about that. And then the idea got nothing, like no attention, no understanding, nothing. And I was like, how, like, wow. I remember I think I've got a couple of weeks, like, just dooming, I don't know, just thinking of like, what the hell.
yeah,
And then the same approach, the same thing, the same everything, like the same actions we did with Notcoin, and then this succeed. And at the moment when Notcoin made this one, I was like the first with the user activity and so on. I remember I tried to remind myself, man, this idea and your approach has nothing different from that last summer,
yeah,
and it means that you both cannot judge these ideas that they're bad, the first ones, and you cannot judge this Notcoin idea as something that this is purely whatever my genius or something. No, it's just approach that you have, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and you just have to remind yourself not to fly high and not to go down, right? So that's kind of thing,
yeah.
philosophical part, but yeah, that's important. I think for builders, that's absolutely important in my opinion. Yeah, so long story short, just keep doing stuff you believe in and don't judge stuff if it doesn't work. It's your fault or whatever. It's basically sometimes it's just an attempt. The only
Facts.
way to basically be sure about the result is not doing attempts and expect nothing, and then yeah, you have what you expected. So, but of course, if you want to do something, you have to experiment. You have to take risks.
That's it, man. Okay, you ready? Here's what we're doing. Fact or
Let's go.
fiction. This is kind of how we play it. All right. So I am going to make a statement, and you are going to tell me if that statement is fact or fiction and why.
All right. All
All
right.
right. Here we go. Play to earn is dead. play to learn maybe wins? Fact or fiction?
I think, of course, first part is fact. Play to learn. I don't know. I've seen several attempts. I'm not sure what does it mean it would work. Would it pay out to users, or would that create sustainable,
From the
income or something for
trenches,
the?
like, are people? Is it going to catch fire like Notcoin like caught fire?
No, don't think so. I don't think
No. Okay, I like it. Next one. Telegram will onboard 100 million new crypto users.
100 million. I think they already did it, or they close to do this. So absolutely yes, it's no brainer. It's a question of time when everyone realized that Telegram and Ton are the only mass adoption ecosystems with a huge gap to the second place. Huge gap. It would be like Michael Jordan, just rate and any other basketball
Yeah.
player. So it's
Wild. Okay, interesting. Not token becomes cross game currency. Fact or fiction?
in some way, I think, yeah. I mean, what does it mean is that Notcoin as a core of Not Games ecosystem, or Steam 2.0 that I call. And yeah, that's definitely all these games somehow will contribute to Notcoin.
Okay, fair. Massive airdrops are over. Fact or fiction?
I think that Telegram airdrops that drop tokens to users for doing some simple stuff is done on this stage.
Mm-hmm.
It maybe will be changed with time because people tend to forget things, right? Maybe we will see another step on or whatever. It's probably possible. Would I do that, or
Yeah.
would I bet or would I put something on this from let's say our team work or something? No, thank you. I mean, now it's just like, all right, so it's much clearer now what is sustainable, what is not, and there are so many really good opportunities for sustainable stuff, for sustainable products, tokens, and everything. It's so you just really need to spend some time looking at this, and you'll see.
Fair. Okay. Interesting enough. Tokenized stickers will be greater at onboarding than DeFi ever was. Fact
Yeah,
or fiction?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because the onboarding part is the most important thing here. Is that try to onboard someone to Hyperliquid from zero experience in Web3. I
Yep.
would look. I mean, sometimes people are just even those who are kind of experienced. It's still you have to. What you have to do, you have to bridge your USDC to Arbitrum to like. Oh gosh, I mean, it's already kind of several concepts users have to learn.
Yeah.
Stickers in Telegram, you just see fancy sticker. You see that this is unique sticker, means that it's, let's
Unique
say,
sticker.
NFT or something. Then you
Yeah.
just buy it or use it, or like, yeah, that's no brainer.
Okay. I like it. All right. You didn't do too bad in fact or fiction. I like it. I like it. So let's kind of shift gears a little bit because I genuinely want people to get to know you as the human. Because a lot of times, especially on crypto Twitter, we don't get to see the human being behind either the PFP, right? All we see is the PFP, which by the way, looks exactly like you in real life. So by the way, like spot the fuck on. Give us the origin story, right? Like people genuinely want to know because I know when I first came into this whole ecosystem, I'm saying to myself, like, okay, like who are the key players here, and like what role do they actually play? So take us from Pavel Durov like down, like you guys are in the same circle. Are you guys? Is there like a friend tight like inner circle here? Like what's the deal? Like what and take us through maybe how you first met Pavel, and then we can maybe jump into a few other things from there.
I never met Paul. I think that's the beautiful part of
No
it.
shit.
Yeah, never had a conversation with him. So
Wow.
yeah, I think that's one of
What?
the core approach that we have in general. Usually we don't look for help or support or stuff like that from any other entities outside, and
Wow.
usually we just asking to not to you know create some hustle for us. So just that's the only thing we need. We're pure like builders. I mean,
Yeah.
builders are not relying on relationships. Builders are relying on understanding of like what to build and how to build to meet some user needs and so on and so on. That's how basically I came from product role eventually, like time ago. I think, yeah, I've worked 6 or 7 years in a company called Rike. It's basically project management software. It's nothing to do with Web3, obviously. But there are two things, very important things. First
Yeah.
one is that this company was, it has headquarters in Bay Area in California,
Okay.
and I've been there like 10 times or something. Like I kind of get the spirit of innovators, startup builders, the culture there. I think it's important. I don't know how to explain it. Somehow I got this spirit. And the
Yeah.
second thing, maybe even more important, is that when I joined Rike, it was 30 people there, and when I left Rike, it was 1,500 people there.
Oh wow.
It means that during this 6 years, I've seen how small startup turns into the big corporation with many product teams, many departments, many everything. And
Yeah.
the biggest learning from that was like you never have to have big team actually, because to do great things you always can do this with 10, 20, 30 people max. You know that in Telegram they're having, let's say, 20, 30 engineers altogether. 20 or
Yeah.
30. I mean, when you compare this to WhatsApp, and there are hundreds or thousands engineers working,
Yeah.
and you see that Telegram is still outplaying them. You understand that's not about headcount, it's something different, right?
Yeah.
I remember, by the way, when I worked in a corporation that I had a mobile team consist of, let's say, 20 or 25 people, and we
Yeah.
built iOS and Android app. And I remember that the app was shit, really, because of many reasons. I mean, but still, the quality was shit. When you build something for big, enterprise or something, that's usually on the customer level, it's not great. But at that moment, I knew that VK, this the social network built by originally by Paul Dorff and the team. So they basically had 2 or 3 people working on all the mobile applications, and one of them is 16 years old. I was like, at that moment, in that moment, I was like, what? Like, all right, so
Really?
yeah. I mean, the thing is that VK and Telegram and Ton and we are actually learning from that a lot. Maybe, by the way, your question about the connection, this is purely what I think we have in connection. It's nothing about personal, like being like
Okay.
creating some relationship or something. It's about the concepts that we learned from them. And one of the concepts is that when you hire people, ideally you hire it from kind of contest approach, when you basically um, give some task to public and you say
Yeah.
that I'll pay whatever, like 100k USD, if you would do the best solution possible for this particular task. Let's say you'll make the most um, like optimized fast feed of posts for the network, for social networks, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you have many engineers that are feeling they can challenge the status quo and kind of beat whoever else is on top. And during the evenings or nights or whatever, these engineers or even interns, whatever, like really people who never had any job, they might actually come to the solution that would beat everyone. And the beautiful part in contest is that the payment is not guaranteed. If you think about salaries and all this concept, when you hire people and you guarantee the payments,
It takes away the fire.
yeah, sometimes, not always, but it's hard to distinguish if people would do this without payment or not, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in contest you always see that.
Yeah.
And what we learned from all, like the whole experience with corporation, with the what we learned from VK, Telegram, and so on, and now we're trying to do it ourselves. We're trying to basically allow people to compete on the ideas level and jump into the team from outside. I don't care if you're 16 years old. I don't care if you never did this job. I really don't care. We will. I would love to work with you. I mean, because if you can do this better than anyone else, please do. You'll
Yeah.
have my support. So yeah,
Interesting.
that's kind of approach that we learned a lot from from all these
Do
experiences.
you think? Do you think I'm in the minority for actually thinking that there was a connection between you and Durov? Like, am I like? Do you think I'm the minority, or like, do you think the majority of people think maybe that's just? I don't know. Is that just kind of like an American like assumption based thing where I'm just like, this look at this dude, he's crushing it over there. Like, there has to be some sort of inside connection. Like, you don't really just get there by not knowing. Like, it's who you know type of deal.
I think that Telegram itself is very closed group of people. So I mean, I don't think they. Maybe this is specific for Telegram. Maybe if that would be another company,
Yeah.
there would be a thing. But
Yeah.
here it's much more kind of independent being. Again, they busy with their work. They have to do stuff.
Yeah.
When you have just 20 like ish engineers to build the whole Telegram thing for billions of users monthly.
I mean, though, but when you're responsible for bringing on 7 million new Telegram users, right? Like from doing this, okay? Like, I feel like that would warrant a phone call from Pavel being like, yo, what's up? 7 million.
He
Thanks.
posted. He made the post. So he
Yeah.
basically posted some stuff about Notcoin, and uh, with Notcoin, we tried to challenge the whole Web3, how to say that, speculation, pure speculation narrative, and we tried to be kind of ironical for that. Like, and we just
Yeah.
offered people at some point to donate some coins to Pavel or
Yeah.
Telegram team as pay of respect. And then in a couple of days when we stopped this, we was
Yeah.
like, all right, so then you will get this twice back. I mean, you will get this amount that you donated
Yeah.
back multiplied 2 times. So because we just like, if you did it without expectation of any other value that we'll get back, then you
Yeah.
deserve it. You more than deserve it.
Yeah.
And I think it maybe kind of resonated with Pavel, and he just made a post about this stuff. So yeah, and in general, I think that's we've made some job for Telegram. Mini apps, I think the adoption of mini apps is tremendously changed from what we've got before and after Notcoin. Then economy in general in Telegram, stars that they introduced in June last year, and all the you know all the projects that came after Notcoin, they used this, and then just it created really good momentum for Telegram, I think. Now I'm thinking usually I have this concept in mind, like, all right, what Telegram would do or would want to do in general, and
Yeah.
I try to align or at least see alignment and misalignment in our goals with them, because sometimes it just helps. So, for example, with stickers, we basically learned this from Pavel's speech on Token 24/9,
Yeah.
and we were like, all right, great idea actually. And by the way, we know how to do that. We know how to do this right, and we did our part, and we onboarded tier one IPs into Telegram in Tonica system. It's never happened actually, and yeah, right now we're like, all right, it seems that with gifts and stickers, we and Telegram will come to the same spot
Yeah.
eventually. Yeah. So yeah, basically, sometimes you don't need to know people to build stuff. Yeah.
You know what it is, it's hard for me to wrap like my brain around something like that, because my whole life has been like, listen to me, go make the proper connections, because it's who you know, not necessarily what you know at the end of the day, right? So
That's the
interesting.
nature of Telegram and crypto in general, right? So sometimes some weirdos from nowhere can build some stuff
Yeah.
because it's decentralized, and no one can say you like you would not do this. Whatever. I mean, I can do this. Go fuck. I mean, so
So okay, so what's the biggest maybe, and then we can kind of transition here. How are we on time? Do I still have you for just a little bit longer? Is that okay?
I'm fine. Yeah, all good.
Okay. All right. Good. So I guess maybe like what is let's maybe like take a step back, because I know like obviously coming off of Token 2049, I saw you guys put on some ridiculous fucking like some crazy drone light show. Like that's
Yeah.
really cheap, bro. Like how much is this kind of shit costing? And are you guys out here spending money willy nilly? What's the deal?
Yeah, actually, this was one of the idea from guys who are behind docs, and I
Yeah.
think they've seen this kind of like drone show or something like some time ago, and was impressed by that. And then we discussed that, and then I thought like, it sounds like it maybe not make sense to try to promote heavily Notcoin or
Yeah.
dogs. Like when you see this kind of advertisement on Token 24 now or something, you usually just all right, thank you for
Yeah.
shilling me this shit. And I just thought that all right, why not to tell the whole story and basically start with Telegram, and because we're all kind of part of the ecosystem, we're all part of this kind of history, right? And yeah, and like again, it was so beautiful to see how people reacted, how community reacted. It was everywhere, literally. And Pavel, of course, yeah, he's also highlighted this stuff. Yeah, I mean, one of the idea that we had, it's not purely marketing. It's more like, I don't know. Sometimes we just want to do stuff that we feel cool.
Yeah. I mean, that
Because
was cool. That was really fucking
yeah,
cool. Like when you see, I wasn't there obviously in person. I wish I was, but when you see something like that was fucking really cool.
yeah. And guys,
Yeah.
like they even hit some records with like Guinness Book or something. It's just wow. You never think of these things when you like.
Yeah.
Again, I'm from simple family from in the middle of nowhere, and I like the whole life is quite kind of joined, right? I mean,
Yeah.
every single stage, every single thing, and then you just staying on in Dubai and looking at Notcoin and probably nothing, size of whatever 100 meters
Yeah.
sign in the sky, and never like wow, it's kind of interesting. And
Yes.
I remember that yeah, with Notcoin, I think it was
Tell me.
um my idea to just flip the ton coin sign, and I'm not sure I was particularly proud about what we did when I seen this in the sky, but I was like, it was a nice idea to flip the sign.
It took up until that moment for you to realize, like, yeah, that's a pretty smart fucking idea. Like, I actually really like that. That was good. I hear you. I hear you. Good stuff. This look, I love kind of getting this insight and kind of getting to peek into your brain and peek into your journey. Maybe give us, if you can maybe like go back, right, and give one piece of advice to your pre-Notcoin self. What would it be? Like, what would you tell yourself? What would that piece of advice be to the pre-Notcoin Sasha?
Of course, I would like to learn more in practice from working with um, things that are so popular, especially tokens that are so popular. Because when you're doing this first time on that scale, you're doing sometimes not efficient steps. But at the same time, to be honest, you asked me and I had to find something. So it's like maybe I would say myself like find a way to work even harder. But to be honest, I think we
Come
worked
on.
like crazy.
You're always
Yeah.
going to be able to work, right? Like that's like, yeah, you can tell yourself, like, trust me, like work harder. You look back, you tell me you didn't bust your ass during that whole time. So, like,
Yeah.
what's the thing? There has to be like an instance or like a moment where you were just like, fuck, we should not have done that. Like, or let's maybe switch that up. If you don't have it, it's fine. But I can't imagine there was probably a million fires being put out a day.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the
Yeah.
problem. I mean, just every single week from the beginning of the year, we've got something that looked like unbelievable, critical issue that have will have some dramatic circumstances and so on and so on. No, all good.
I guess looking back, it didn't turn out too bad anyway. So you're good to
Yeah,
go.
maybe the advice would be like, don't take this all too personal, or don't take it too serious, because
Yeah.
yeah, at the end of the day, like the good part with Notcoin is that apart from product, the idea, onboarding of users, token itself, and so on, there was a narrative that we not like the style that we made it, right? So like the whole thing, the Notcoin is kind of it's paradox, right? Like how coin might be Notcoin.
Yeah.
And the philosophical part of it is that we basically just want to do stuff not in the way that it used to, because it's just existing um,
Mhm.
we want to do this. um, Sometimes we have to flip stuff. Sometimes we really have to challenge status quo. So, yeah, exactly.
You literally
Exactly.
flip it. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, that part is also very, very valuable. And since me personally, I you've seen the stuff, yeah. So I mean,
What do you got?
like,
Show us. What do you want to show? I see the
yeah,
not.
it's just music gear here, right? So
Yeah.
the thing is that right now it's more like a studio with my small work table when I do my main job. But I like this part so much, so I don't care that it took the whole space here. So
Nice.
the thing is that, yeah, I mean, with Notcoin, I just agreed with myself that I can do whatever I want and post whatever I want, and just being not bothered with the idea like how people will think of the project or me or whatever. I don't care really. I don't care. And this created enough freedom to play
Yeah.
and play hard, play loud. And yeah, I think that's was one of the most beautiful parts. I love that we've handled this because it's always simpler to turn into the some usual path or something that is
Yeah.
more convenient for every like that kind of thing.
The road less traveled. Yeah, I get it, man. Like it's like let's kind of go down that route. So, okay, let's maybe transition to we can kind of go into towards the tail end. I'm going to need you because a lot of people have been suffering from this announcement of an announcement disease, and I don't want to do an announcement of an announcement. So I need you to leak a little bit of something as to like what's going on. Rumors are swirling a little bit, like the Telegram native Dex, maybe with Durov, even though you don't speak to him. What's cooking over there? Confirm or deny for me? Like Telegram native Dex? Yes? No?
I don't know. I don't know about this particular part. I don't know. But what I know is that, like, I think people underestimate the power of Telegram assets or assets with use case. So just to elaborate a little bit on this,
Please.
Telegram issued anonymous numbers. Anonymous numbers basically NFT that if you have it and you connect it to your Telegram account, you have this fancy plus 888 something number.
Yeah.
I think that from anonymity, like security or privacy standpoint, it does make a lot of sense, to be honest. Especially when it costs you 2,000 per number. But they Telegram launched that at the end of 2022. I remember it because it was three things. FTX crash. During that time, I tried to raise money because we're out of cash and team is, we have to pay salaries. I have like the last salary month, next month, something like that.
Yeah.
And I have to raise money in this environment. And by the way, that time we built something like kind of launchpad on Telegram. Can you imagine like launchpad raising money right after FTX crash and the really, really like deep of the bear market? And no one knows it's deep actually. So the thing is that, yeah, it was really, really. The third thing, the most important part is that I had my daughter, she born at the moment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that all together was the moment then Telegram also issued their numbers. I remember this time quite well. So
yeah,
the beautiful part is that they issued these numbers. I think the cheapest part of it that was available for everyone, it was roughly, let's say, $18, $15, something like that.
Yeah.
So I've already spoiled the the current numbers. Right now it's roughly close to Ethereum. And I think it will perform better, by the way. Just not financial advice, but I just feel it.
You heard that? That's the alpha, ladies and gentlemen. Listen back to this. That's the alpha right there. But go ahead, keep going.
The most important part from all this is that from 2022 to the end of 2022, despite the fact that the beginning of bull market, I would say that it was like 2024, beginning of the year. So during this all 2023, 2024, the chart looks like that. It's literally, it's just growing. It does not really depends on Bitcoin downsides. It does not really depends on altcoin season comes or not comes. The thing is that people who want to flex or use this and whatever the reason they have, if they want to have it in Telegram, they will do this. And since there's scarcity, limited amount of numbers issued, and since more and more users are onboarding into Telegram, if you think of this, it was like not far ago, it was just simple messenger, right? So people just use this for messaging. Then it became more and more like a super app, like mini apps, groups, I mean, channels, whatever, like wallets, all this stuff. So I think that the percentage of users of Telegram that onboarded into the level of anonymous numbers and understanding what it is, and like the percentage of users that want to buy it now and would want to buy it like in this time, I think it might change in a good way, right? So it might, like, in my opinion, assets that has some use case tied to Telegram or games like with Counter-Strike skins, cases that are not dependent on Web3 market health check, health, whatever, like rate right now. So it will actually outplay most of tokens. If you think of tokens, like we know the stuff, but I just want to focus your attention on this. So amount of people who can put money into tokens and the size of this money, it's growing not that rapid at all comparing to amount of tokens that wants this money, right? So
yeah,
like half a year ago, I remember the number 50,000 tokens are issuing every day, and Pump Fund is not helping with this issue. I mean, with this whole thing. So you can think of this in extremes, and you can think of this like 3, 5, 10, whatever amount of years. Like, first question, would the amount of tokens that issued every day decrease, or at least, like, I mean, maybe become flat or something? My gut feeling is that unless unless the size of opportunity for token for the single person that issues this token or promote or whatever will be less than 1,000 USD, it would not stop. It means that 50,000, it might be like whatever 500,000 at some point.
Yeah.
So again, with the same demand or similar demand or slowly growing demand, we have like crazy supply, and the pace is crazy, really. So which means that classic approach with stocks, when you pick token or certain, when you pick the particular company you want to invest in, it doesn't work for tokens. So the investment concept doesn't work for tokens. Of course, like there are some exceptions, Bitcoin, thank you, like maybe some layer ones, but still, I mean, the majority of tokens, it would not work.
Doesn't work for, yeah.
And because I mean, you can just expect that yesterday, like yesterday, okay, so 5 years ago, people had to choose from 20 tokens right now on the market. Everyone knew these tokens, everyone knew these tickers.
Yeah.
Now people have to choose between 100 or 200 or 300. That is, somehow in the info field. It will be 2,000. It will be 10,000 tokens they have to choose from, and so on and so on and so on. So and this would not be the case that tokens would go that on average. Tokens would go that on average, right? So when you're thinking of this, and you still understand that people in crypto in Web3 would want to put money somewhere and expect something expect something back. So they might choose between Bitcoin and whatever they believe in, or, in my opinion, in things that have a potential to gain value with time, much more potential than tokens have. And from investment standpoint, and I'm just speaking about pure mathematics here. It's not like smart trading strategy. No. It's just pure 2 + 2 is 4, right? So if you have, let's say, whatever 1,000 stickers of Pudgy Penguins issued in this year, and this is the whatever original first sticker issued by Pudgy Penguins on Telegram. Yeah. And this is only 1,000 of them. So I can imagine that amount of users who would see these stickers and would recognize that, oh, right, these are uniques. So I cannot use it. I can just buy it, and after that, this kind of stuff. So amount of users, share of Telegram users will grow, and with that, it's hard to imagine that people that
Are
that
not-
that, that Magic Penguins sticker would just
Yeah.
nuke as usual token
Yeah.
is doing. So from that perspective, let's say if you distinguish tokens in general and things that has value that are on blockchain and tradable and have the most important part, they have this use case that is not tied to Web3. So altogether, these things might at some point get more attention, more because who want to invest in tokens that are going down with probability of 99%? Who really want? You can, yeah, but simple, like
Yeah, but
let's say
Sasha,
average.
let me ask you a question though. Like, do you believe genuinely that the average DGen comes into this space and actually owns Bitcoin? Because I don't. Like, I'm in spaces every single day, and if you want my genuine, honest opinion, I don't think they own Bitcoin. I think they never have. I think they never will. They just want to come to the casino, roll the dice, and see if they fucking win. That's what they
Yeah,
want.
that's absolutely. But the probability of winning, like let's say in
Worse than the
2017.
casino.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing. So probably we will see that. People are not tending to beat stuff that hurt them, right? So
Yeah.
if we sit against that would not make money during this year, what would they do next year? Probably that they would switch or something. Yeah. So and again, like I mentioned on the news numbers, they shown great growth during the bear market. Whenever the next bear market comes, it would be so obvious that things that have utility. I don't like the word utility, but still, like use case kind of thing.
Yep.
That is tied not to Web3 but to real user experience, games, stickers, whatever. So it will be so obvious how these two worlds perform on average. And yeah, after that,
Yeah.
I just feel like we're in a good place, in a good time. We know what we're doing, and we just I'm glad that we're was kind of, I don't know, lucky or smart enough to basically not to jump into the trap or something. So now we're just like, right, it's all
Good.
clear.
I mean, listen,
We just wait.
lesson learned. I think, like, look, I think today, I mean, I know for me, like, I definitely took like a lot of lessons. I only have a couple more questions for you because I feel like this is gold, right? Like someone with your level of experience, right, and like going through what you went through and building what you've built, like that's a pedigree that I think a lot of people genuinely should understand and be able to gather lessons. But this is Web3 at the end of the day. Some people are kind of freaking crazy. And I'm just reading some of the comments, and they're just like, Sasha, please, I have to feed my family. Like, come on. And it's like, bro, what are we talking about? Like in some of these instances. But let me ask you, I guess,
Let's go.
what would be maybe like your message to maybe like to like some like the Telegram and different like crypto communities that started out with Notcoin. I see a lot of support going on in the chat. Maybe to those maybe that still might doubt you. Like, what's the message now for those people?
Message.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Do you want to kind of just
I
tell
don't
them?
know. No, I like no hard feelings at all.
Yeah.
I think that in general the message would be, I wish you become independent from all these thoughts and narratives and everything that you eat from Twitter or whatever, and start thinking yourself on stuff and start putting top 2+2 and getting your own fourth. That's really really important. So yeah, that's maybe the only thing.
So I love that. What does success maybe look like for you by the end of 2025? It's like Sasha has succeeded if he did or achieved X. What does that look like?
Gosh. All right. So gaming stuff is important. So we want to see games that are not airdrops, because airdrop games are dying after TG simply because the main attraction was the token itself, not the game itself, right? On the other side is that if building just simple games without any Web3 connection or economic connection. It's growing slowly, or you have to put millions in marketing and you have to push users to pay. I don't like push users to pay, actually. So the middle ground here is that what if we will provide games that are cool, funny, and like people love to play them. It's social games to compete with others and so on and so on. And there's some economic layer there. So let's say like in Counter-Strike, people are playing Counter-Strike because it's fun first. And also they receive all these cases and skins and everything. But this kind of amplifies the growth, amplifies the interest from users. It's
Yeah.
really nice thing. So this is the first big thing. And when I'm thinking about this, is actually work with game builders, partners, whoever else who really can do a nice job with games itself. Provide a platform that we call Steam 2.0. It's not games actually, that will allow these games to issue items, skins, create this layer for users. People would be able to open and see their profile and see all the stuff they did and all these things. And the last piece is the market itself. So we will allow people to eventually, trade things that they just earned in a game or something like that.
Yeah.
And the difference between, let's say, Axie Infinity or Treasure Hours also, we're just thinking of games like more in the way that, let's say, in WeChat, which is quite similar to Telegram, right? Super app.
Yeah.
Um, that has zero, by the way, crypto connection yet, but still their gaming market is tremendous. It's several billions in revenue that games earned in 2024. It means that, like in Telegram, for instance, it's roughly 200 million, and most of this is from airdrops. It means that without, like on WeChat, you cannot do airdrops. So basically, without airdrops, this number would be even lower. And the size of opportunity is tremendous.
Yeah.
So which means, yeah, we try to crack it and let's see how it would work. Ideally, as a success, I see that like in App Store, you're having top 10 applications, like the best of the best that are there for years already. Same thing here in Telegram, there will be their own top 10 apps on top 10 games. I want us to help to shape at least half of it, because I'm quite sure that these games and quality of them and people behind them, they will be the best builders and the best, the best ethics and everything. I would really want to see this.
I like that.
This is the
Does
first thing.
Oh, that's the first thing? Go ahead. You want if you got the second piece, let's go. Give it to me. I want to hear it.
Yeah, the second is basically the token itself. So we're having Notcoin now, right? We're
Yeah.
having some partners, close partners as well. So let's say we have um, uh, we have dogs actually. Yeah, we partnering a lot and working a lot on stuff. We have NotPixel as a game that issued Pix token earlier this year. So all these token parts it is important in Web3. Unfortunately or fortunately, it doesn't matter, but it's still important to work on this. Let's say everything regarding staking, regarding trading, regarding listings, regarding how to make holders happy and how to make sure that you do the math and all this stuff. So it's very important. And we learned a lot. I think now we are quite experienced to basically to show some progress this year that would be much better than last year, because from that particular standpoint, because we now know things quite well. And the third part is that um, again, Telegram ecosystem and all the opportunities there, right? So we see clearly one thing, and we have pain there. Telegram becoming super app, and adoption of this from user perspective is slower, right? So it's like, let's say only 10% of current users are actively using all the bots, wallets, and blah blah blah. So imagine this number is growing, and more projects would want to see their communities, their brands, whatever, existing in Telegram, and they would want to manage communities. Means that they would want to create some private groups for those who, whatever, having their gold card or something, or those who reached a certain level in the game, and so on and so on, or like PUBG Penguins holders, whatever. It's many things like that, and tools that are needed for this kind of work with
Yeah.
community. Uh, they are not there yet. So they're usually built by small teams for the unique case, and they're not reusable. They're not growing. They're not changing with time. They're just getting worse and worse. And we just see this as kind of both good opportunity, but also it's also our own problem. We want to have good Telegram native tools built by great builders. We want to make it open source. We want to make sure that these are the best solutions that won the competition of the ideas on the contest or whatever. And we want to see this like whatever 30 tools, basic tools in Telegram that's available for everyone. And we have Web3 thing here is that basically there's a community platform called Community Bot, which is simple, and
Yep.
it has its own token called Build. And Build, as you can hear, is mostly about incentivizing builders to build.
Yeah.
And the idea here is that all these applications, all these tools, we want independent builders to build their own version of it because they might be really crazy in a good way to find a great solution for that. And we want to incentivize them with grants in this token.
Okay.
And eventually, I expect that people who would use these tools, we will just find a way how to basically make the whole cycle of the value. So let's say people use these tools, they value it and they pay, and then we just exchange this to build, and then we can make more grants. We can attract better developers. We can create bigger scale and so on. So that's kind of third thing I want to achieve. And yeah, maybe this year's it's long enough. It's long enough to do all three things. Let's see.
You
Yeah.
still got time? You think you got enough runway between now and the end of the year to be able to
Oh
achieve
yeah. That's no. We're actually quite profitable, to be honest. So, I mean, we basically have several different products that work quite fine, and we're finding new models all the time.
Yeah, so how does just really briefly, because I know we're kind of in the process of wrapping up, but I always tend to do this because my brain just goes a million places. Because
Go ahead.
how is your business is set up now to where you work with Telegram directly, and essentially, but it's you run your own business at this point, correct? Like you are your own team of builders, you're your own completely.
Yeah. We have built. Yeah, of course, our team is quite big already. I think it's between 30 and 40 people. Not all of them obviously are engineers. So engineers, I think, roughly 10-ish.
Okay.
So because we have stickers, designers, all this stuff, it's a lot of production work and so on. So yeah, and we have just a bunch of products, bunch of processes right now. We're helping our partners again. We're helping games. We're building a platform for games. This platform would have some building blocks that would just save time for every game builder because you have to have some things that other game builders made 10 times already, and you just let's just simplify this for them. That's what we thought. So leaderboards, all this, some payment flow, tournaments, like all the stuff we just figuring out on the platform side.
I like that.
Yeah. So market stickers, earn is the launch pad, launch pool in Telegram when you hold something and you earn something, literally. So then everything related to Notcoin, just briefly, like in Token 24/9, like a couple of weeks ago, we've got a thing called Not Rave. So basically we've made
really
small rave, yeah.
it was crazy. Let's go.
Yeah, it was mostly for holders, but also for some friends and so on. I think we've got let's say 100 people there, but we invited guys that I personally like. It's a band called Kerala Dust. So this is the kind of good quality music, and some crazy guy from I think he's just DJ who's doing a great job as well. So we've got crazy dances there, of course. But the thing is that I just thought that, wow, I mean, why not to do this as the Burning Man kind of thing for crypto or tech in general? Because all right, so when you think about that, like when someone invites you to Web3 event, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Crypto bros, lots of crypto bros, lots of crypto bros.
That would shill you something. That
they're
would
gonna try and sell me some shit. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
That's gonna try and sell them something. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like
that
bunch
would be
of
cool. No, I'm serious. Like I'm thinking like Burning Man, but like we need more women in Web3, and
Oh yeah,
maybe that's the thing that can maybe
maybe,
actually start
maybe.
appealing to like some of these smart ass females out here because there's not enough of them. Like I'm telling you, there is not, and we need more of them. So maybe the Web3 Burning Man, yo,
Yeah,
Sasha.
yeah. And we made this Kerala Dust, by the way, the name, right? Kerala Dust, the artist. I
I love
like
you.
the second part of it.
Yeah,
So we've made it in the desert. So I mean, basically, we just really went to the desert and made it there.
yeah,
And seems like Dubai's desert is maybe a good place, kind of place for that, because again, it's like no one you bother with your music. It's wild, it's in nature, it's cool.
yeah,
And it's cool literally because during the evening and night it's quite cool,
yeah,
it's fine. I mean, it's not that hot that during the day.
yeah.
So I don't know, why not? I don't
Let's
care,
go.
really, I don't care.
Guys, you heard that shit here first, okay? So if we see Web3 Burning Man, that was dropped on this interview, okay? Um, no, all right, Tasha. So like literally, like maybe like last one question or two. I have to just get your thoughts on AI. What's
Yeah, yeah,
what's your
yeah, yeah,
overall look on it? How much are you using it? What are you developing with it? What can we expect? Like, give me as much as you can.
yeah. um if you would you ask me uh what's the most important thing, I would say in general now, it's for my team as well, I repeat it all the time. uh the only way to keep, almost only way to be relevant in 10 years from now as a specialist or whatever, so is to work on AI now. It means that you not only need to use ChatGPT or Grok or Replit or whatever cursor, you need to build something with like AI at the core, because this will just help you to understand things faster than than if you just consume this. And in my opinion, no, it's not brainer that basically all this knowledge that you can learn building AI stuff in the next few years, it just secure your relevance for the next whatever amount of time if you want to build. So for every single person who builds something now in tech, I would suggest this 100%. For every single person who are not building something in tech, good news is that you might be not need to be a developer now, or developing now is much easier. Engineering is much easier now with ChatGPT and all that stuff. Me personally, I prototyped a couple of things, even game with ChatGPT myself. Not big deal. I'm not an engineer, by the way. So yeah, I mean, now it's just changing, and I would really suggest every single, especially um, like teenager or whatever, like please build something with AI now, like today. Like don't like really like buy ChatGPT, or actually like you can run some models yourself, or you can use the Gemini, all the stuff for free and so on. Like do this today, play with something, build something, prototype something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's general advice. It's no brainer that the way that you would solve tasks would change dramatically. And if you would understand that better than others in advance, it would make you big favor.
you heard it. Like that's the advantage out here. And it took me a minute to figure this out because like I'm not a builder, I'm not a coder, I'm not a developer, but this vibe coding business, I don't know if I buy into the vibe coding stuff because like I'm an idiot. Like you give me one thing and I'm lost. But I mean, if I'm able to really manage to put something together, if I could just build like a nice, decent looking website, what's the next thing I can
You
build,
can
right?
you can do this today. You can do this today, really. I mean, that's the beautiful part. If you have something in mind, let's say some game, let's say some whatever, actually, any kind of
Yeah,
experience, you can play like you can really deliver this today. That's beautiful part. You can
yeah,
deliver even complex things today. You can deliver beautiful things today. You can deliver basic things today. It's fine as well. You don't need to have any special knowledge. You basically just need to ask this thing, like, what should I do, or what the process should. Please break this out into the pieces. Like, what's the plan? What should I do? This, and that, and then just go through this. Like, that's really nice. We actually launched the contest for AI builders or game builders in general, and we just trying to highlight that, guys, please use AI. Please make this 5 code and stuff, because like sometimes for me personally, I'm not an engineer, so it means that sometimes ideas that I want to test, or at least I want to say live, it takes some time to go through
Yeah,
my head to the final prototype I can try. And now it's changed, and this change is dramatic. So I mean, now I can literally sit and prototype myself in 3 hours, something that I would not be able to do like whatever months earlier. And now it's just like that.
I swear. And I was actually reading this. I was just looking for it. I was like, I threw something in. As I scroll through crypto Twitter all the time, it's like just iterate, like have an idea. It's like this guy broke it down. It's like 6, 7 easy steps. It's like ideate, name it, design it, build it, figure out use one API, prep for your launch, and do it open source. Let everybody dissect it, rip it apart, and then just at that point, like now, if it sucks, okay, you didn't spend that much time on it, and if it's good, then it's like, all right, this could actually be something. Like maybe I got a little bit of traction here. So amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
We by the way, just last
yeah,
piece here is that
yeah, of course.
Notcoin was not the first thing we built, right? So I mean, we tried
Yeah,
to build stuff for like let's say 4 years before Notcoin all the time. So I think it was like 3, 4, 5 products we tried to build and launch and ship, and it
yeah,
was not that successful, or even 10% or even 5% of this. So basically, it means that without these 4 years of experimenting and attempts, it all would not be possible. And now, basically, I think that even if a simple website or breaking down this idea and try one time, second time, third time, 5 times. So basically, this is necessary to eventually, on the 10th or 20th or 100th attempt, you eventually hit the target. And yeah, that's necessary. So that's why what I'm saying is that you need to start working on AI now and use AI, of course, but try to build something with AI. Try to use it in more advanced level than just consumers, just Google, right? And it means that it's just naturally will create some knowledge that would just like again eventually at some point it was just wow, I know how to do it. Actually, it's
yeah,
not a big deal. I have some business idea. Oh, I know how to build website because I tried 10 times to
yeah.
build some stuff, and I'm sure, yeah, I can do this like this evening. Wow, that's game changer. That's really important.
Facts. Yeah, it is. I just was looking through my question list, and I'm like, I skipped over one that I have to ask you before we go.
Let's go.
The Epic Games Apple decision. I don't know if you've been watching. Obviously, like if we're obviously
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
watching it pretty closely. How does that affect now that Apple has officially changed its terms of service and a few others? I mean, how does this actually change the game market, the App Store market? Because we were talking about it earlier when you were like, look, the App Store, like you're finding the best of the best. Like, are we going to see like a big downgrade in quality? Or are people just going to submit anything? Like, how does this maybe change the landscape?
I don't think that the issue with quality might be actually. I
Hmm.
don't think it was the main point there. I mean, obviously, Apple now will be less restricted to builders.
Yeah.
And in terms of Telegram, you can imagine the whole Telegram ecosystem is the application in App Store and Play Store. It means that we inherit all the rules and everything. And since it will be changed there, the whole ecosystem will be changed dramatically as well. I think so. But I mean, there are so many small lines there in this terms of
Yeah.
services or whatever. You always have to navigate this through because I mean, it was so bad that people could not launch marketplace with NFTs on Apple devices. It's pathetic. I mean, Apple wanted to grab Apple wanted two things. First one, not allowing using crypto there, yeah. And the second thing is that grabbing some part of the deal. But when it's peer-to-peer deal,
What are you going to
what
grab?
the heck? You cannot just you cannot cut 30%. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
and again, I'm not a big judge of Apple. I mean, I like them, and in general, their products are great. But when you have this big company and you have income channels, income streams, and the very very small stream related to let's say crypto like applications or something like they just don't have attention to that enough attention to do something special for that, right? So that's good that they just ease now all like the whole framework and make it easier for applications, even Telegram ecosystem, to avoid some restrictions that they were before. So now it might be easier to trade with crypto or use crypto in apps. It might be easier to send users to websites and do whatever you want there. So yeah, it's independence. It's a good thing.
I love it. Good stuff. Sasha, listen, I'm going to need like a closing thought from you at this point. Like, I mean, what do you want people to maybe take away from this chat, right? I feel like you were definitely candid. You were definitely open, honest about like everything. The whole Durov shit blew my mind. I'm still kind of reeling over the fact that like y'all have never spoken. That's crazy to me. But what do you want people to maybe walk away from this with? Maybe like what's the message you want to maybe deliver to the people watching? And yeah, anything that else you want to maybe plug that you have upcoming before we jump off.
Ah, gosh, I don't know. I mean, I think I've shared everything. For builders, I would say that please come and build. Really, don't spend time in Web3 outside of Telegram. I would say that it's basically probably not sustainable in most cases, in 99.9% cases. So please come. Yeah, would love to see more builders here. Would love to see more smart people, more value creators, and so on and so on. For everyone else who are not builders yet, but as I said already, AI can help you today. So you basically, just please feel free to explore everything that is related to use cases not connected to Web3. And Web3 use cases not connected to Web3 market itself. So that kind of stuff, that might be promising. Yeah, let's see. Let's have a talk, whatever, in 6 months or maybe 1 year or something.
Now we're talking. Yeah,
we can compare. We can I would be happy to. I would be happy to.
I love that, man. I would love that, man. Look, this was absolutely incredible for like us. Wait, do you own WagMe stickers, by the way? Do you own WagMe Hub stickers?
Of course.
Yeah. Whew. I was gonna be like, the guys are gonna kill me if I don't ask if you own WagMe stickers. All right, beautiful. Good stuff, man. Well, listen, Sasha, thank you for bearing with me. Obviously, like the first of anything is obviously always tough. So trust me, I get it. Appreciate you dealing with me and all of these technical difficulties, if you will. But
all good.
Dude, this was super candid chat. I love having these kind of chats, man. And I hope we really do get to do this again in the near future, man.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you so much.
You got it, man. And guys, thanks everybody for obviously tuning in. This was dope. We're going to share it across all the other different socials. But yeah, that's Alpha Leak episode 1 in the books. Let's fucking go. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Peace.
Cheers.
Ooh.